Hey everybody, welcome back. Here we are today with the Bear Creek Arsenal Bufferless 9mm AR, and this is either the ultimate budget PCC or just a POS. You guys get to make your decision. I have already kind of made mine, and I'm going to tell you right now, spoiler alert, in spite of all the problems I've had and everything that I will tell you about in this video, I still actually kind of really love this thing. So here we go. Insert Glock mag meme right now here, because yes, it does take Glock mags. So that's pretty cool. And one cool thing about this guy is that it has been able to run pretty much all of my Glock-ish sort of mags, including one very cool magazine, the drum mag right here. This guy right here like this. It's just so much fun. And it was really running this mag just excellent. No problems at all until I encountered my first problem or breakage, which was when the ejector went missing. I don't know if I broke that myself, if it fell off of there, or if maybe it exploded off of there when a sort of weird thing happened with one of the rounds. This was not one of the Scorpion ammos. This was actually a CCI Blazer that this happened to. I'm not sure if that makes any difference, but just want to be sure that you guys know this was not one of our sponsor ammos. It was a CCI. Interestingly enough, and like I say, why I really just love this gun is because even though that ejector broke, went missing, did whatever it did, exploded out of there when that round blew up, this thing still cycles just fine as far as you can shoot it, and the rounds are going to spit right out even without that ejector. Now the only thing I've noticed is that it doesn't like to run with some of the different mags. It'll run the Glock mags, like your true honest to goodness Glock mags, it'll run those all day long. And I've kind of theorized that probably the reason why is because having the ejector on there actually does help to grab the round up out of the mag and get it at the right angle going into the bore. So on those cheaper mags, it's probably just not getting that perfect right angle every time, and so that's why there's some inconsistencies with those. But whereas with the Glock mags, you know, it's holding those rounds at just the right angle, so it's able to feed them perfectly, even without the ejector on there, because that went out at about somewhere in between 600 and 700 rounds, I think, is when I lost that ejector, and I still kept going because I'm up well over 1,000 rounds now on this guy. So kind of cool that the gun can literally be falling apart, all the screws can be rattling loose, things breaking, and you're still out there just throwing Glock mags in and letting them rip. So right off the bat, I'm starting to lay some of the dirty laundry out on the table here. And I don't want that to discourage you guys from this guy, but I do just sort of want to clear the air right away that there have been some problems with this, but there's also some good to go right along with the bad, and that is just 1,000 rounds in on this guy so far. And although I have had maybe the little thing go missing there and a couple of screws need tightened from time to time, all in all, for $500, this thing, I don't really think you can beat it in a PCC-ish or pistol-y sort of a AR-9 kind of a thingamajiggy here. So today we're going to get into all of that, and we're going to shoot this guy a whole bunch because, as I mentioned there, 1,000 rounds. This is a torture test video, which I think is what a gun like this really deserves. It likes to be lubed. It likes to be slapped around. and tortured a little bit. So that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to shoot over 1,000 rounds out of this guy, and then we're going to accuracy test it. We're going to shoot some 50-yard and 100-yard accuracy results for you after all of that 1,000 round just ripping it and torturing it.
It started to turn when I was shooting. That was funny.
Swap. Hold.
It doesn't go there. Crap.
So speaking of going through 1,000 rounds, I want to thank my main sponsor for today's video, and that would be Scorpion Ammo. They are the ones responsible for being able to set me up with the 1,000 rounds of 9mm that we're going to run through this guy, other than a couple of other oddballs and some self-defense ammo that I'm going to test with it just to make sure that it can run something besides that Scorpion ammo. We're going to shoot 1,000 rounds of their ammo, so thank you guys so much for setting us up. I've run this in a couple of different configurations, and one of the first things that I did was I got rid of this factory grip. I just didn't like that grip angle that it provides, and this grip is really a very kind of more slender, small grip, and in my big old fat hand it just didn't feel like enough. So I changed it out with one of these dye-free company Kung Fu grips, which doesn't quite perfectly fit, but it does fit, and it really fits my hand. I love the texturing on these grips and the extra size and just the better, more direct angle. For me, especially on a pistol, something like this just makes it so much more comfortable and easy to use. So that was one of the first things that I had to change right out of the gate. Now, this is something that of course has this pick rail on the back, and you can add a folding pistol brace or just a regular pistol brace on there, whatever floats your boat, and it really works pretty awesomely with the folder on there, because you can shoot the guy folded, quickly deploy that brace, and then continue your action there. So that's really pretty dang awesome. But one of the funnest ways, really, I think, to run this guy is just letting her rip gangster style, you know, like a pistol, just bam, 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 or even one-handed. But I want to let you guys know that you do need to be kind of careful in how you hold this. So I'm going to go ahead and put a mag in so I can show you a little bit better the couple of grips that I have found to really work best for me on this, and that is one, holding low right there below the grip, and that's because my fingers are out of the way of the ejection port right there. I can still get that second hand on the gun, and I've got a good second grip right there like that. Now the other option would be to maybe do something like that, because if you try holding it up here like this, your tendency is either to grip too far forward and then potentially risk burning your finger right there on a very hot barrel like that, because there's just not a lot of room right there, or gripping too far backwards and now your fingers are in front of that ejection port, which is gonna potentially hurt. And so definitely you don't want to let your fingers creep up into this sort of a position on the gun, which is kind of a natural way to hold it. So that being said, you just want to practice either what grip you're going to use, gripping it down there, or doing something like this. And that is, I've basically adapted my Recover 2020 ends little mag holder onto the front here, so that I've got not only more rounds, but I've got a much better way to grip the front of the gun now. So this is just a super, in my opinion, that's just the best way to go. Most comfortable grip. You can either run it like that with your finger over the top, or, you know, just like grip it right around the mag holder right there like that. But that is a much more secure grip, and just even has a way of kind of keeping you from burning your fingers. So there is kind of my 2 cents on different ways of setting this guy up for best and most comfortable usage, and my warnings on definitely just what you need to be careful of when you get this guy out and you want to rip those first few rounds out of it. You know, just be careful where you're putting your fingers, because there's not a lot of real estate up here to grab on, especially for you guys with large hands like myself. All right, so obviously it's a side charging operation, and so we've got a reciprocating bolt or charging handle right there that is exposed. And that's kind of cool in my opinion for a lot of reasons. And one is when a round fails to go into battery or you need to rack something, it's just right there connected, ready to go. You can slam it forward, you can rack it back. That's awesome. It's way better than I think those options that are even some of them much more expensive, like from SIG, that have the rear charging handle. I mean, that's a over $2,000 gun, and this is like a $500 gun. So, I mean, what it's competing with is pretty dang awesome, but there are some disadvantages to this. And as you can see right here, we've got this guy coming loose because pretty much everything on this gun, unless it's Loctited, will work its way loose after a certain amount of rounds. This came loose. So you can see probably up here, just around those Allen bolts, right, just around these Allen screws right here, where it's rubbed off the finish, because this thing comes loose so often and moves around, so it's rubbed the finish off up there. I mean, it's just sort of a loose-ish, and that's how it seems like it likes to be a little bit loose. It doesn't even like to run when everything's mega tight, except this. Keep this as tight as you can. This stuff up here, your barrel nut and all of that, tighten those down, Loctite the snot out of them. Hopefully they won't come loose on you. This guy right here, can't really Loctite it, because then when you go to take it apart to cleaning, you got to get that off of there. So I just recommend definitely keeping in your bag a set of Allen keys, because you're going to need them with this guy. That's definitely over 1,000 rounds by now. Let's go ahead and go shoot some 50 and 100 yard accuracy with it next. No cleaning. I hate cleaning it. No cleaning. All right, well, those are some pretty cool groups. I like the way this one up here looks like a sort of a jacked up smiley face. So taking my time here on the headshots, and first one just dialed right at the X. That was awesome. Then I think it did 1, 2, 3, 4 after that. Still 50 yards out of a PCC. That is perfectly acceptable in my book. Then when I started letting them rip a little faster down here, I think I had the first shot right there, again, just dead on, right at the X, and then it went 2, 3, 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. But still, all of those are kill shots in my book, and for semi-rapid fire off of a rested position, perfectly acceptable again. So let's see what it does at 100 yards next. Basically, there you have it, guys. $500. No other brand or manufacturer, I don't think, really offers something in that price range that does everything that this does. Now, it does have a few problems, but I mean, just get yourself some Loctite and maybe a spare ejector clip or two. I know the guys at BCA are super awesome. They've already got me a spare on the way, so great customer service over there, no problems with that. But yeah, for the price and everything that you get, I am gonna say that I think it is the ultimate cheap PCC and not a POS. That's my judgment, that's my determination. Let me know, guys, in the comments what you think, and we can start a little war here, but I like the guy. So if you like this video, hang out with me some more and check out one of the other couple of videos up on screen. We can keep this rocking, or smash those sponsor links down in the description below. Support the channel and make more videos like this possible. See you guys next time.